Hi guys, welcome back to the kitchen. Today we are continuing our series of delicious bun recipes in collaboration with Oroweat, Brownberry and Arnold buns. This is a true taste sensation. It's my epic breakfast bun. Today I'm arming you with a recipe that will help you serve up the breakfast of your dreams. It's an epic breakfast bun with velvet cheddar scrambled eggs, avocado and maple black pepper bacon. Now in this recipe, I'm using the Arnold sweet multigrain bun to sandwich together all these great ingredients for the perfect breakfast bite. These Arnold, Brownberry and Oroweat buns are super soft, fresh and made with simple ingredients, which makes them perfect for a breakfast to die for. Now we're going to start off by making our maple black pepper bacon. So I have some nice streaky bacon which I'm going to lay out on a sheet of parchment paper on a baking tray. And the key here is making sure that you get lots of flavor into your beautiful bacon. If you're using good quality stuff, it really is going to make a difference. And then adding black pepper and maple is just going to take them to the next level. So lay out your slices of bacon across your baking sheet. I would suggest you use a baking sheet lined with parchment paper specifically because they're just easier to pull up after you're done. So drape them all across and then take up a good glug of maple syrup and pour and drizzle over each and every single one. You want a generous amount of this sticky sweet maple sauce over the top of each piece of bacon, and then it's really important you go in there with some black pepper. You could use any spices you like. In fact, please be experimental with this. It's a really great one to play around with. But adding that little crack of black pepper is going to add a bit of spice that works really well with the sweetness of the maple syrup. So sprinkle that all over the top, and then once that's black peppered up, this now goes into the oven and it's going to cook off until the bacon is nice and crispy. Now, I'm going to keep an eye on my bacon as it cooks off, but the next step is making the most beautiful velvet scrambled eggs. Now, to do that, we need a copious amount of eggs. I've got some free-range large eggs, which I'm just going to crack into a jug. We've got about 6 eggs going in here, so give them a crack and give them a mix up. And I suppose my only little trick here is that I'm going to add a bit of double cream or heavy cream to add that lusciousness that we really want for velvet scrambled eggs. And I think people are very precious when it comes to the perfect scrambled egg recipe. My version of really good scrambled eggs is not tiny little bitty bits of egg. I want nice velvety folds that work really well in a bun like this. So essentially, to get that, we're going to add a tiny touch of double cream into our eggs, alongside a fairly generous seasoning of salt. So pop that in there. I'm going to get my pan on a sort of a medium to high heat here. And really important, I don't use a non-stick pan too often, but when I do, it's generally for fish or for eggs or something that has a tendency to stick. So a good non-stick pan is really important here. And then you're just going to give that creamy egg mixture a good whisk up until it's nice and smooth. You don't want to over whisk it, just whisk it until those yolks and the whites have combined. And you can see that creaminess just adds a lovely lusciousness to the egg mixture. And that, my friends, is looking pretty good. So into our pan as it's heating up with a few knobs of butter. And the only other utensil you need at this point is a really good spatula. I like to make sure that I just fold through the eggs as they cook out. And what you're doing is you're allowing them to catch on the bottom, folding them through, and just until that runniness kind of dissipates, that's when you know you've got good scrambled eggs. So our butter is coming up to temperature right now. And as soon as it starts to melt completely, it's time to get in there with our eggs. So heat up and straight in there. Now, at this point now, everyone starts to go in and starts to mix it around. Give it a second, let it catch on the bottom, and then you're going to use your spatula just to gently fold those strands together. And you'll see it's those gorgeous little strands that create the most velvet and gorgeous scrambled eggs. So you're just going to keep folding this through really gently, allowing it to catch, allowing it to create those little set bits. And it only takes a few seconds, and that for me is the perfect scrambled egg. So take it straight off the heat, add a tiny touch of butter, let that melt into it as we crack on with the rest of this recipe. But for me, you don't need to go any further than that. You've got lovely runny bits, you've got gorgeous set bits, and that is a really great scrambled egg. The only final touch here is a bit of black pepper through it, but for me, that is ready to go right now. So we've got our scrambled eggs ready to rock. We've got our bacon cooking off in the oven. Now it's time to talk about these multigrain buns. All I'm going to do is butter the cut side and pop them onto a nice hot pan. So a little bit of butter, and I'm just going to spread that across each and every little bun. Just that little touch of butter and that heat on the pan is going to warm these buns through and leave them gorgeous and fluffy. Okay, so we've got our buns buttered, pop them straight into the pan, and we're just going to toast these up until they're nice and golden brown. So our buns are toasting, and now in the residual heat that's in our scrambled eggs, I'm just going to add a little bit of cheddar cheese over the top here. So just that subtle bit of heat that's left in the pan is going to help that cheese go nice and oozy, so that when you add that to the buns, you get that lovely sharp flavor of the cheddar running through the eggs and running through the buns. Our buns are toasting up nicely, our cheddar is melting down. We're going to grab up our bacon, give them a turn, and then get them out of the oven. Now, the bacon has come out of the oven at this point, and you can see it's real sticky and gloriously crisp and golden. It's got all the flavor of the black pepper now. I'm going to leave this aside. We have our buns that have toasted up. We've got our beautiful egg situation going on here as well. So now, essentially, we have all our elements ready to go. We've got our toasted buns, our bacon, our eggs. Last thing is a little hit of some avocado in alongside this to make this an epic breakfast bun. I'm just going to cut these into slices, and then let's get assembling. Just look at that. Avocado, bacon, eggs, and you have an absolutely glorious breakfast bun. The shiny maple bacon is what really makes it, but I just love all the other elements too. Right, let's stop talking and get eating. Wow. This has all the elements. That really fresh hit from the avocado, the sweet peppery bite from the salty bacon, and then those velvety scrambled eggs. But what really brings it together is that super soft toasted bun. This is truly an epic breakfast sandwich, and if you want the full recipe, as always, I will leave it in the description box below. You can check it out, it's on my website. And of course, ring the bell and subscribe to the channel for lots more videos just like this. And leave a comment, let me know how you like your breakfast bun. But for now, this is begging to be eaten. So, I'll see you soon. Cheers.